Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is November 22nd. And this morning I'm reading from This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. And the cover of it says this: "You are the only person you can ever know intimately. You are the one with whom you must live eternally. This book is about you. It is for you and to you." How beautiful is that? So on page 91, this is what I opened to this morning. And it's actually kind of a two-parter. It has a paragraph that's some information, and then it has a suggested meditation. So I'm going to read just the information first, and then I'll read the whole thing with the meditation as we go into our meditative practice. So here's what it offers us. Stop blaming anyone or anything, persons, circumstances, or situations, for what may be happening to you. This is futile. It is a dead-end road. It is a blind alley. It is a raft adrift on a sea of uncertainty. Today, you are going to take your life in your own hands, realizing God is ever with you. You are going to identify yourself with goodness and with joy. Straight thinking is going to do this for you. Straight thinking may not be the easiest thing in the world, but it is possible for anyone. That paragraph, I don't know about you, but the first time that I was introduced to this idea of taking 100% responsibility for my life, it was like being slapped with a 2x4. Because one of the things that we are conditioned to believe and to operate in a paradigm of blame, of guilt, shame, and blame. It's just the human condition. Good morning. Two people that have joined. I can't really pronounce your names there because it's just not resonating, but good morning. I'm glad you're with us. This whole reward-punishment paradigm, right, that we're on, this whole finger-pointing conditioning of the human race is not our human nature. It is conditioned thinking. And when we take full responsibility for our experience, now that doesn't mean I'm responsible for when it rains, because I can't control the weather, but I am 100% responsible for what I tell myself about the rain, what I tell myself about the plans that I had that the rain may have interrupted. I am 100% responsible for how I experience life. In terms of our physical health, if you read the book, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, he speaks extensively about how genetics respond to the environment that we create in our bodies for our genetics, for our genes. And so it's not just my genetics. While that is a huge part of it, it's not the totality of it. And so, am I taking responsibility for the environment that I create for my genetics to interact within? Because what his research shows is that, yes, the genetics have a somewhat predisposed journey, and they learn from their environment, which changes much of that predisposition. So we get to choose. And the idea of that is sometimes really hard, especially when we've experienced things in our life that we didn't deserve, right? When there's childhood abuse, the idea that we chose that, well, no, the child did not consciously, intentionally choose to be abused. That's not what it's speaking to. And what do we do now? That's the big thing. What do I do now? Because I can choose to live in that woundedness, or I can choose to heal. Right? And that gets really complex. I'm just tossing it out there as a way to look at this power of responsibility, the R word, and to invite us to take 100% responsibility for our experience of life. It isn't easy, but it's very simple. So I'm going to read our paragraph again, and I'm going to read all the way through the meditation that Ernest Holmes offers us in this reading and take us right into our 5-minute meditative practice. Stop blaming anyone or anything, persons, circumstances, or situations for what may be happening to you. This is futile. It is a dead-end road. It is a blind alley. It is a raft adrift on a sea of uncertainty. Today, you are going to take your life in your own hands, realizing God is ever with you. You are going to identify yourself with goodness and with joy. Straight thinking is going to do this for you. Straight thinking may not be the easiest thing in the world, but it is possible for anyone. Say, the spirit within me is alive, awake, and aware. It is always flowing through me in perfect life. I accept my spiritual perfection. I know that my physical being is included in it. It is a manifestation of the life, the energy, the love, the peace, and the power which is of the Spirit. I know that this day which I live, this present time which is now, is perfect. Everything in my world works harmoniously, divinely. I live in a completeness of a present moment. I know that all wisdom guides me. The all power protects me. The all presence goes with me. one love, one life, one God, one peace, one power, one mind, one source, one substance, everywhere present, having no beginning, having no end. It is eternal, unlimited, indefinable, seen and unseen, visible and invisible. All this one substance expressing itself in infinite possibility, expanding its expression and experience of itself as each individualized expression of it, fully infusing every expression of it with itself. The creative process, individualized, incarnate, in individualized forms. And so I know that I am that in form. And I know that everyone and everything is that in form. The creative process, wholly active at its individualized level of expression. So I claim and affirm an awareness of the magnificence of creation, that each individualized expression of it is. That there is an embrace, an acceptance, and embodiment of the power and the freedom of responsibility, awakening within each individualized expression of life. That there is a glorious embodiment of intention that takes full ownership of experience, full ownership that thought, belief is received in that mechanical activity of creation that we call law and acted upon. And so we are careful and intentional, not careful from a fearful place, but careful from an intentional place to examine, to adjust, to bring our thinking into alignment with the truth of being in order to manifest the desire of creation to express as each and every one of us. To celebrate how each and every individualized expression of creation celebrates itself, expresses itself. To lean into a new experience of everybody does it different as a divine, intentional, precious reality of creation. Not as a dismissal, but as a celebration. Everybody does it different. And we learn what those differences are and we celebrate them, recognizing that everything that appears different is simply a part of me expressing that I'm just now meeting. And that we each have that same experience. That every expression of life is an expression of ourselves because there's only one of us here. One life. And so, just as Indra's net, we are the jewels that reflect off of one another, into one another. Inseparable. Joyously complete. And so knowing this is how the creative process works, knowing that I alone am responsible for my experience, while I am wholly connected, I accept and I celebrate the activity of law that makes that so. I take full responsibility for what I tell myself, and how I tell myself, and when I tell myself, to bring all of that into alignment with spiritual principle over and over again. Knowing that as I do, law acts upon it and makes it so. The harmonious operation of one becomes my way of being. And so knowing that law has already responded, yes, already recognized the desire within me to be that harmonious operation of one, I can let go. I can let go of the struggle. I can let go of looking for, did it happen? And live in, it is done. I can let go of every limiting thought, every fear, every doubt, and stand fully in it is done, allowing the mystery to unfold before me, around me, as me. Ashe, Shalom, Aho, Amin, Amen. And so it is. Namaste.